top, send this out, send now, and let's go here, move this like that, make sure I'm up. Oh, microphone might help. Okay, let me just hear a test. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. And we're gonna go here. Okay, that's out. And I'll put this over here. That should be good. Alrighty. Oh boy. So much work to do. All right. What do I want? So I think the last thing I was going to work on was equipping weapons, or equipping anything really. Equipping items, control schemes. So what do I have here? F is equip and unequip, hold to drop currently equipped. Okay. Melee. What else? Multiplayer, character roles, intel, object interaction, or inventory and stashing. I think this is where I had it. Here we go. Equipping. So you can equip things by either holding right click and then left clicking while holding something in first person mode. Horrid says, hey Steven, how's it going, Horrid? How you doing? Welcome. Just going over some equipping rules that I've written for myself. And I'm going to try to program them. So that's how you do it in first person mode. Or you can quick equip something while clicking and dragging something from inventory and then right clicking while holding it there in inventory mode. Quick equip slot 1 and 2 are special spots that are always available, even when naked. If you're using both slots, then your character just holds one item in each hand, but always puts the in-use item in their dominant hand, while the other hand holds the other item at their side. If you're naked, hiding and unhiding feature is unavailable. Characters must hold things in hand since there's nowhere else to quickly hide them. Doing okay. I'm going to be here for a bit, then go shower, then come back. Right on. I need a shower too, honestly. I was kind of thinking about hopping on I have a bike desk. I was kind of thinking about doing that on stream and working up a real sweat and then taking up a shower after. But let me just sit on that a little bit. I need to digest my bagel. Quick equip slots number 3 through 9 are reserved for items which have already been added to your inventory in the clothes that you're wearing. Quick equip slots number 1 and 2 don't require any volume. They're a freebie for the players to hide and unhide regardless of how full their clothes inventory is. It's a video game, remember? Anyways, items should have an is equipable bool, so people aren't trying to equip chairs and stuff. Alright, so maybe that's the first move I make. Go to my templates and then go to, I need to move this. There we go. Object. Oh yeah, that sounds like a good workout. It is. That thing, it makes me sweat big time. Okay. Object. It needs a variable. In the inputs called it's a bool is equipable. Okay, that's an input. So now if I go to some of these test items like the hand radio, You're telling me all these systems are done with Playmaker. Do you use the ecosystem often? I do use this ecosystem relatively often. I would say that there's probably at least anywhere between 5 to 10 custom actions that I use. Maybe more, but I imagine it's probably anywhere between 5 and 10 actions that I got from the ecosystem. And then there are actions that I write myself, usually just small modifications or variations of pre-existing actions. Or actions that I use to control third-party, like middleware stuff, like Final IK and Master Audio and stuff. But yeah, basically everything here is made with Playmaker. Oh, that's what I was going to do. I was going to add vision to NPCs, or add NPCs, period. I haven't really done too much work on that. Okay, so this hand radio, let's open the prefab. And now over here in the object FSM, is equipable. I will say yes. Actually, yes. You should be able to put it like on you and kind of like hang on to this. Mr. Chambers, yo, SSD. What's going on, Chambers? How's it going, man? Glad to have you in the chat. That's crazy. I hope to be good enough to make cool games like that at some point. That's very kind of you to say, and I think you can. You totally can. You will, as long as you just stick to it. Diligence is all it takes. All it takes. Just keep doing it. How fast you get to being able to do it is maybe dependent on other things, but you'll eventually get there as long as you stay with it. Okay, so I made this equipable. I don't know how to do that. I don't know if I want to do that with clothes. I guess with most things, they would be equipable, except for chairs. Like, I don't want people to be equipping chairs, you know? So, oh man, yeah, equipping is kind of a tough one. I'm wondering how deep I should get into that today. Let's take a look. So in my character prefab, I have, let's close all this shit, my controls, and under controls I have equip controls. Okay, here's my little equip controls FSM. So what I want to do, right now it's just like a weird controller that cycles through an array. But what that, yeah, like what the array actually controls, I haven't thought it through. God. Oh my God. Yeah, the thing is I have the abstract written out here, right? Like that's always like step number one is you come over here into your Trello or your notepad document, whatever the hell, and you just write out in plain English how the thing should work. Like if you're explaining to your friend over Discord when it's their first time playing the game, it's like, hey man, you have to press this to do that, and you hold it to do this, but you can only do that when it's like this, etc., right? You explain it in plain English, because when you're making your own game, you just you write it out for yourself, and then you get to points where it's like that's inconsistent or that doesn't work or I haven't thought of that, because when you're forced to write it out in plain English, that's when you're confronted with like objective sort of circumstance, if that makes sense. The controls are no longer a magical little ideal situation in your head. Now they actually have to abide by the like laws of the world. Is it possible for you to do a starting tutorial for people? Oh, the joys of game design. Yes, it is. What do you mean a starting tutorial? All the tutorials in Hutong's channel, are the ones that I make, are all like, I would consider those starting tutorials. Or yeah, what would you expect? Me and my homies hate objective circumstance. Yeah, man, fuck objective circumstance. Everything is subjective, and it's all about I don't have a quip for circumstance. Objective circumstance, more like pomp and circumstance. Is that what that song's called? Pomp and circumstance. All right, I'm not going to go down this fucking hole right now. Googling pomp and circumstance. Right, and universal, right, circumstance. Right. Yeah, it's subjective and universal. That is kind of more my jam, to be honest. I do try to make as generic of systems as I possibly can, so they better interact with each other. No, I mean in your game. Oh, like a starting tutorial for the game for memory spot. Yeah, I've thought about it. There's like a little agent training program thing I wanna try to make. It's kind of a hard one, because you want to expose people to all the things that you can, all the ways you can interact in the game, but you also don't, and you want to be able to sort of expose them to strategies, like how you can use those things, but you also don't want to sort of like reveal all the secrets. I've been thinking about it. Yeah, I want to build the damn thing first, because you know some mechanics and features might get scrapped. So where was I? Oh yeah. So in this quick, you know what? Let's just play the game. Let's just run this fucking thing right now, because I need to see what the hell I'm even dealing with. Oh, and you can see this cool little feature I added while we're here. Let me lower this because it's probably gonna play music. Oh no, it's not. Okay. So I finally added my health system. Sort of, at least the beginnings of it. So in my game, there's no health bar or anything. You just have, if I go to my character, go to FSMs, character sims, physical health, and if I go to the health FSM, and then actually I probably shouldn't change it this way. I'll just show you what it looks like when I directly change it here. Essentials, death volume. So in my death volume, that's what it looks like when you're dead. Or it's not what it looks like. Well, yeah, your shit will probably look like that when you're dead. But more importantly, so if I select every frame on these, I'll show you what it looks like when I adjust it in real time. So this is, let's put you at 0, right? That's what it looks like when you're totally healthy. Let me just make this bigger. Okay, that's what it looks like when you're totally healthy. And you take a little damage, and your shit looks like that. Not too big of a deal. You can't really tell. Take a little bit more damage. Wait, actually, is this it? No. Hang on. This is 100. Variables, health. Here we go. This is what I want. So you're at 100 health. Take a little damage. You're at 98. Can't really tell. Looks mostly the same. Take a little bit more damage. You're at 88. Your screen's a little warped. You can see the edges here is kind of getting some chromatic aberration, but more or less you're fine. 88 health. That's not bad. And you take some more damage. Ooh, right around 78 health. Right around like 80. You start seeing a little heavier vignetting. Your field of view is getting a little distorted. The chromatic aberration is kicking in, so shit's getting a little wonky around the edges. You take a little bit more damage, right? This is around, let's put it down to 50. 50, you're clearly, like if I'm walking around here, my vision is clearly obstructed. Things are getting desaturated. The world is not as colorful anymore, right? Things are a little blurrier. The chromatic aberration is really fucking up my peripheries, and there is a vignetting that is obstructing my peripheries. And the contrast is getting a little crazy, right? Shit's getting really bright. You're very photosensitive. Look how bright that is, right? The brights are really bright and the darks are like really dark. Okay? And then you take a little bit more damage. Now you're down to, let's say, just 25 health. Now you're down to a quarter of your full health. The vignetting is really strong. Your peripheries are totally fucked. Now when you look at things, when I look down at the floor, I can see all the way up there. the field of view is like super stretched out. We're kind of getting like this very wide angle, distorted, what do you call it? Edges. Okay, so that's, what is it? 24 health. Take some more damage. Let's just go down to, you're down to 5 health right now. 5 out of 100. This is what it looks like. It's basically black and white, but you could see this red right here. There's still some red. You could still see some color in things. You could still see kind of blue in the sky, a little bit of blue, a little bit of red in these umbrellas, the green in the tables, but your peripheries are fucked. You can't see anything outside of this vignetting. The chromatic aberration is totally out of control, so everything at the edges of your vision are blurry as shit. You have tunnel vision like a motherfucker. You're gonna die. You're totally on the edge of death at this point, and you're super like the distortion on your camera is like so fucked up that like you really have to have things centered in, and everything at the edge. You could look at on this right here. I'm looking down at this table, but I could see across the street up there at the top of the frame. You see how distorted that gets? Look at that building as it like warps. You know, so like the world around you, you almost kind of get it's not an advantage, but it kind of makes up for all the vignetting when you can kind of vaguely see something at the higher peripheries, right? If you kind of are look around like this area when I put the camera down, you know, you can kind of see over there by the bridge, which is a super weird way to see the world. See, everything looks like very Inception-y, you know, like the world is sort of folding in on itself. Okay, so that is 5 health. If I bring this down to 0.01, now everything, and the reason I didn't put it as 0 because I'll go into ragdoll mode. But now at 0.01, everything is ostensibly black and white, super blown out, right? Things are so fucking bright or super dark. Like the contrast is crazy high. Everything is completely black and white. Vignetting is obstructing most of our view now. At this point, you should really be worried about your health, and you should be mainly focused on trying to patch yourself up and sort your shit out. And then, of course, if I hit... Let me see, how should I do this? Control-Shift-P, and then I'll put my health at 0, and then I'll hit Control-Shift-Play again. Oh, yeah, there we go. Because I hit P. Sorry, that didn't work, because that's what happens when you try forcing settings and not the system running on its own. Not letting the system run on its own. What did I miss here? From what I've seen, this game is incredibly detailed, so I can only imagine. Yeah, there's a lot of things. I know this is an old chat comment I missed because I've been explaining this thing for the past couple of minutes. But yeah, so like a part of the tutorialization of this game, I was thinking it's either going to be an agent training simulator kind of thing, or I just throw somebody into like a pre-scripted sort of campaign that will teach them everything along the way. I haven't quite figured it out, just because I don't know what's going to come intuitively to people, and I'll figure that out when I get to play testing. There's no use in kind of worrying about how to teach people when I don't even know what it would be I would be teaching them. What I would be teaching them. Oh, by the way, are you going to do Ludum Dare 50? I'm not. I don't think so, but I just sent the link to my friends this morning to tell them that they should enter it, and if they choose to, I was thinking about helping them out. I was thinking about kind of like, you know, maybe modeling an asset here or there for them, or just generally helping them problem solve or guiding their project, just to kind of, yeah, make it a little bit more smooth sailing. They've never like completed a game before, so that's why I sent it to them. I think it would be a good thing for them to enter. Rusty Chicken, what's up, buddy? How's it going, man? How you doing, Rusty? I love seeing fruit by your table instead of cigarettes. Insomniac fan, ooh, stylish. Yeah, it is. It's getting real spicy up in this game. This whole game looking stylish. It's been a minute since I've been on these streams, so the jump forward is amazing. Thank you. Yeah, I feel really good about the way everything's looking. I still need to, put in a bunch of trees, and like the game is missing so much foliage. This bush is like the only fucking tree that exists in the game, basically. That's not true. London is basically done. London's the only one that's like super fleshed out, but all the other cities need to have their like city limits, the buildings you see in the distance and all that kind of stuff. Andres says, looks dope. Thank you. How's it going, man? How you doing? How's the Metroidvania going, or the 2D platformer action platformer you're making? This is pretty much what it looks like before I pass out. Yeah, exactly. Right. When you get tunnel vision and your peripheries get all like vignetted. Damn, I really don't want to take damage in your game. I'm glad. Yeah, and the thing is, like, I want to really spice that up even more. I want to make the player speed will decrease. Like the animation for, of course, the animation should be affected when you look all fucked up. I wanted to put in like the classic like heartbeat kind of shit. I want to like change the frequencies. You know what I really like is in Left 4 Dead when you take the adrenaline shot and it's all high pass. It's nothing but just like, removes all low frequency and everything sounds all, not even mids. It's kind of like high mids and highs in the audio frequencies. And I was kind of thinking that might be what I want to put as like the audio filter that kind of gets cranked up as you're dying more, like the lower your health is. This is so incredibly accurate to what it looks like before losing consciousness. Yes, I've fainted a lot in my life. I have fainted so much in my life. I'm not ashamed to admit it, but I'm not happy to admit to it. It's a really shitty thing. The fainting spells. They're not even spells. It was anxiety and malnutrition and mostly anxiety. Growing up, I fainted a lot. And one time I hit the blunt like way too fucking hard. I got so blunted and then just like passed out in front of my friends. Razubi. Hey Steven, how's it going, Razubi? How you doing? How's the Razware going? I hope to join a Ludum Dare one day. You should. They're so fucking fun. I would honestly try to join at any point, even if you were learning from the very beginning. Because what it'll do is it'll make you solve very specific problems. Like, there's no time for like, oh, what about this and what about that? Like, no, like I only need to do this one thing. I'm going to get back to working on it next week. Took a break after doing commissions to avoid burnout. That's a good call, man. Yesterday was the first day in a pretty long time that I did not work on Memories of a Spy. I just did not work on it at all. I think I made a note in my Trello board for an idea about toilets that I had. And then that was it. But I think a lot of that was kind of linked to burnout. I think I got a little taste of burnout yesterday. So that's a good call. Get back into it with like a sort of a fresh bucket of energy that you could splash on it. Horde says, yo, you should add the heating going away. Yo, you should add the heating going away. The heating going away. Oh, hearing. Maybe you meant hearing. Oh, and I think you did say that down here. Yes, the hearing going away. Yes, exactly. Changing the frequencies. Last time I joined a jam, I made an entire RPG. Yep, and this guy is still working on it. Now it's a full-on motherfucking game. Or ears ringing. Yeah, ears ringing. Maybe I'll do that for like explosions kind of stuff, right? Same here. I have POTS. So when I stand up, I pass out. What is POTS again? So when I stand up, I pass out often. Yeah, that's a big thing for me too. When I was little, it was more of a thing. But if I got up too fast, or in the shower, all the steam, like not enough oxygen, I'd fucking pass out. Or maybe it was my blood flow or something, my body temperature. Something about being in showers, I would pass out. Used to be bedbound before my heart pills. Oh shit. Goddamn. Well, I'm glad you have those. I'm glad you are not bedbound. Raspberry should be a thing. Game looks good. Lots of progress from what I last saw. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm... it's starting to feel very real. Do you guys want to see really quick some multiplayer tests I did with my friends? Here we go. I have footage of it. Let's see.
You could choose that.
Let's find when we actually start playing.
Connectable in the record store. Okay.
There we go. Yeah, so here's some footage of doing the online multiplayer with the homies. What sucks is that before I made the build, and it's like, it was a quick fix, but it was just, we were already in the middle of it, that I wanted to play. I had artificially set a cap for, I don't know if you could read that, but it says like 4 out of 4 players. But we should have been doing a 5-player test this night. But yeah, this shit was buggy as fuck. And it was mostly because just before I did this build, I switched my entire input system to rewired. And so there were a bunch of input actions that were still using either the Unity new input system or the baked in get key actions. And yeah, that was causing a lot of issues. I'm sure it was because of other things as well. But it was, oh man, this became such a buggy mess. But it was really fun to kind of like see other things too, just like just networking things of how they were able to interact with each other. I was really kind of getting a taste for what the limitations are. There's a lot of networked objects in this game, like a fuck ton of networked things. This is Sunny finding the guy in the kitchen. And it also made me build a more robust day and night system. So after this, the day and night cycle got really fixed up. But look at all this like super cursed shit right here. This is crazy cursed. Look at him. He looks like he's fucking like marching. And it sucks because like I fixed that stuff. I fixed those things, but the only reason they're broken here is literally because last minute I changed all of the input actions. So after this session, like a couple days later, I went in and replaced them, and now none of this shit happens. But it's just really funny because it looks like a nightmare. Let's see what else we got. Yeah. There's a lot of funny clips I want to pull from this to make a little video. But it was mostly just for like learning. What do we got here? Let's see. Yeah, honestly, normalize sabbaticals. Yes. I am so thankful that like my income is in all the ways, because I have like multiple streams of income. All of them are completely remote, and so sabbaticals are like a bit of a luxury. That it's kind of like not even really a sabbatical, because I guess I'm still technically working, but just like it still gives me that type of freedom, you know. I'm gonna hit show on this really quick. What is it? Full on motherfucking game, dude. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Steven. Of course, man. I mean, you're busting ass out there. Yes, please. By the way, Steven, do you have one monitor or a few? I have one. I don't know if you can see this. Let me go to this and go to just webcam. So I have one wide boy. Oh god, you can't really. It's one of those like curved 22:9 monitors. Every time I get bugs, I laugh my ass off. Dude, bugs are like the best. Oh, you don't want to see my face. Hold on. There we go. Bugs are the best. They're so fun. I mean, I fucking hate them sometimes, and I lose my mind, but they do provide lots of laughs. And I try to screen record them every time I get bugs. I have a lot of good screen captures of broken doors that are just like totally mental. It makes me laugh more than frustrated. Well, you say that now until you hit one of those really big bugs. then you feel like fucking smashing everything. Damn, man, dealing with netcode sounds like such a headache. It can be. It can be. I'm getting used to it. It's actually like once you sort of understand the fundamentals of it, it's not too big of a deal. And my only gripe with netcode is mostly how much extra work you have to do. Like, or it's kind of like redundancies. Like, there's not too many good ways to sort of, like, when people say, like, build a multiplayer game from the ground up, what I'm really learning what that means is, like, sort of set the systems. I don't know how to explain this. I used to think it really meant to, like, actually be building the multiplayer part, but I think the most important part is, like, building the systems in your game so that they aren't dependent on sort of like local offline logic. I don't think that I'm not doing a very good job at explaining that, but basically I think what people could do is build their game in such a way where it's like if they understood how networking worked, they could do the whole offline mode first and then like slowly go through and add the online thing like afterwards. I don't know if that's accurate, but the impression that I'm getting is that like I don't know. That's just how it feels. That's the impression I'm getting based off of the workflow I've been doing with Jean, by the way, who is like kind of the main dude behind the integration for Pun2 Photon networking with PlayMaker. I heard it's easier to debug with PlayMaker than C#. It is. Even the team at Photon is like they're fucking crazy about PlayMaker stuff. Oh, I dealt with the engine side head smashing bug. But that wasn't even fun. Just things didn't work. Essentially, and num kept unequipping scripts. Huh. I wanted to throw my PC out the window. Right. Yes, that's how I'm setting it for the RPG. Eventually. Ooh, boy. Talk about that MMO. That's what I've been studying, too. Is like, I go through all these forum posts, YouTube videos, and just, like, articles and, like, manuals. Literally, my search keywords are like MMO networking and like simulator networking. I've been studying the Minecraft networking stuff a lot because those games are closer to what I have to network, like large persistent worlds. It's such a different way to network things than like, you know, even my instantiate or my initialization shit. For like joining a game, most tutorials you see online are like you instantiate a character right when you come into the room, and then if you leave the room your character just gets deleted, right? That's kind of like playing fucking Counter-Strike. You just have a guy that gets made when you show up and then goes away when you're not there. But my game's not like that. I can't just create a character when you join. Like all the characters need to be created initially and then you pick one of them. Even if you're not explicitly picking it yourself, the game is like randomly assigning you to it. It's still a very different system. Anyways, let me get back to this. Netcode is buggy due to it being outdated. Something like Mir and Pun is better for setup and everything. It's been nice. It has been nice. And the thing is, it's the only thing I've experienced with networking, so I wouldn't know. Hold on, wait. So is it possible to make an open world crazy MMORPG with Unity? Yeah. Of course. Also, another question, is the scriptable objects option on PlayMaker? Scriptable objects, like, it depends on what you're using them for, but you might find that using input and output variables from FSMs is basically like using scriptable objects, right? And templates and stuff. Photon will handle enough for my game. I can't imagine more than 1,000 people playing at once. And if so, I can afford a solution. Exactly. So, what do I need to do right now? Right now, if I go over to an object in the game, let me hit play really quick. Okay, I'll grab this radio. Right, so I grabbed it. I'm holding it. Let me drop it so I can grab it from a different angle. Okay, I'm holding this radio. And it's not equipped. I can use the primary function of it, which is left clicking it. Let me unmute the audio really quick. If you guys can hear the radio through these speakers. Okay, if I left click, it mutes it, because that's the primary function of this radio. If I left click again, unmutes it. Okay, but if this radio had a secondary action, say changing the channel, right? I couldn't do it while I was holding it this way. The interaction system in my game is like, you can interact with things when you're when they're out in the world. See, it's like just how do I say this? Like when you're not even holding them, right? So it's over there. I could use E to just use its primary thing. So if I hit E, turns it on. E again, turns it off. Now if I pick it up, I use left click to do the same thing. Okay, because I'm holding it, it's a different thing. Because if I hit E now, it just drops it. Holding E picks it up. Tapping E while you're holding it drops it. Tapping E while it's on the floor turns it on and off. Okay, so the text on the screen that you see when you're looking at objects, essentially what it's saying is the top option is what would happen if you tap the key, your use key or interact key, and the bottom option is what would happen if you hold it. So for most things, it basically says grab, right? It says something on top, and then on the bottom it says grab, because holding E on most things will grab them. So if let me turn this off. If I grab this, now the third layer that hasn't been implemented yet, that I'm in the middle of designing, is that after you've grabbed it, now you're just holding it. But what if you wanted to equip it to actually use all of the full features of it? Because right now it's like, I'm just holding it. It's not something I could like swap through in my inventory kind of thing. You can think of it like in Half-Life, when you pick up the can, you know, you could pick it up and you could drop it, but it's not equipped. There's not anything you could use with it necessarily. You can't scroll through it like you would with your weapons in that game, or tools or whatever. So the system I have set up right now is that while you're holding right click, if I hit left click while I'm holding right click, then it should quick equip it. And this is where it starts getting a little confusing for me on how to program it, because I don't really know. I think I have to like put it in something. I have to like either like parent it to something. And then different objects will have you holding them in different ways. This would be an easy enough thing to problem solve if objects just magically floated in front of your face. But ever since I implemented, oops, hold on. Let's see, let me pick it up. Where is it? Okay, ever since I implemented final IK stuff, turn off these gizmos, maybe turn on the lights. Is that way too bright? It is. Now characters actually put their hands out to the thing. So my problem here is that it's fine when they're just holding something in front of their face. And it's only barely okay, because sometimes when they're holding a chair, it looks really funky. And then, of course, like, you know, this thing spinning independently, it's like, you could get away with it. It's a cartoony enough game. But what happens when you want to equip the thing and your character should be holding it in a fashion that more sort of closely represents how you would hold the thing that you're using? So, for example, if you're holding a gun, right, you're going to want to hold it like that. You might put your arm out, or you might maybe even is at your side or something. The sort of incongruent parts there are that, like, you want to be able to see the gun in front of you. Because in a lot of games, like, that's just what you expect. Whereas, like, if you've ever just watched a movie with people holding guns, they're not always just like this. You know, they don't look like a fucking train robber, which is okay. But I like the idea of just kind of having a gun down and then doing this. So if I wanted something like that, it might be that when I equip a gun, you are just holding it at your side. And then you basically always, you either have to hold right click to go into like aim mode, or you could tap right click to go into like I'm sticking it out mode, like train robber mode. You know, it's sort of about like the role playing aspect, but it's also about how you would be interacting with the rest of the world. Because having a gun at your side maybe makes you a little less conspicuous. Holstering it altogether, like putting it away, makes you even less conspicuous. But walking around like this all the time, you can't do that in public without eliciting a reaction. You know, in GTA you can do that, but I don't want that. I want it to be so that when you walk around in Memories of a Spy, if you fucking running around with a gun like this, people should be like, "Holy shit, what's going on?" You know. So these are the sort of considerations made about equipping things, and that's just with guns. You know, how do you equip this radio? What does it look like? Does he just kind of hold it at his side? You know? And I want to cut myself as much slack as possible and really lean into the cartooniness. I mean, I have fucking stick figures with floating heads, for God's sake. But, like, there is also a level of detail that makes the game more fun. Hang on. So, let's see. I haven't gotten to learning templates yet, but if so, then damn. Yes, learn templates. Learn templates. They're so amazingly powerful. Like, every game should basically be using templates. You are wasting so much time if you are not using templates. And you're doing so much more work than you need to do if you're not using templates. Like, that's just... I could say that with, like, 100% confidence. You ever see Silicon Valley? That scene of them building servers on the fly and trying to keep them from catching on fire is what I associate with netcode. I mean, like, not far off. That's what it feels like. It kind of feels like everything's very precariously, like, I just don't know when things are going to, especially because, like, Photon black boxes the shit out of things. It does so much of the heavy lifting for you, which is a blessing, but also kind of a curse, because, like, if you're like, oh, why isn't this thing working? And then you look into the API shit, and it's like, oh, because behind the scenes, the way it assumed you would have wanted to take care of this thing is this way. And it's like they give you the option to not do that, but, like, you have to know that that's what was happening. So I am actually super blessed that, like, #blessed, that I have, like, the main Photon dude helping me out on, like, regular weekly sessions, which is, like, I don't know if I would be down to do this if I didn't have Jean helping me, you know? Like, he's not building my game for me, but he's consulting the living shit out of, like, you know, what do I do with this? How would I do it? Like, I told him literally the other day, it's like, here's how my game should work, how I would like it to work. How might you begin to problem solve those things? And he kind of gave me just like a, you know, a Cliff Notes version. And now I have to run with that. And even that is, like, a lot to process. So, yeah. That's clever, eh? Which I'm not... Oh, fuck, see, this is why I ramble too much and then I don't know what you guys are talking about. So you're trying to figure out how to unequip the radio? Or other game I was doing? I'm trying to figure out how to equip it. Because this, me holding it in my hand, is not equipped. One way I can think of doing the gun is referencing player position and quaternion. Yeah, but I think the thing is I'm using final IK, so I'm using all this IK interaction, and I would want to change literally the animation of the player or their hand position and stuff. So if they're running with their gun, like, I would have a separate upper body, or at least that arm, for what it's like to carry that gun, what the animation is like. You could do separate animation for items needed in a specific manner. Yes, that's what I'm thinking. Yep. Well, that's AI stuff, perhaps, and item direction would do the trick, like how enemies at a certain range start attacking the player, or maybe NPC at a certain range from a gun could run away. Yeah, because they have to be able to see that kind of stuff and react accordingly. Oops. Okay, so there you go. Right now, the character is holding. Let's look at it so I can get a better idea. Okay, holding the radio, and it's in the interaction object. It's child of the interaction object, which is temporary. Okay, I go shower now, and I'll be back later. Okay. Get all squeaky clean. Soap up. So, when I'm not holding this, it gets unparented from the interaction object. And actually, the interaction object is also kind of loosey-goosey. Where is the that is it. Oh, shit. And then the hand radio is like this. Interesting. So mirror is so painful. I'm afraid of mirror. I hear there's like weird, crazy, like what do you call it? Like stuff that I can expose like your IP like to the public or something. What is it? What am I thinking of? It just sounds a little shisty. Mirror sounds like it's easy to accidentally do something shisty in mirror. The thing like as much as I trust pun, like obviously like that's what I'm using right now. There's also that part of me that just like dreads the idea of them closing up shop or whatever. And then what do I do? You know, I have to hire a team to like go through this and re-network it like they did for Sir, You Are Being Hunted. Yeah, it uses P2P. Exploiting its networking is very easy. That's scary. Okay, so if I'm holding this object, let's look at the controls, right? It's currently in this mode. So I can go to equip controls. It's standing by for input. If I hit equip, it's not even equipped right now. Good progress. Hyper Shenth. How's it going? How you doing? And thank you. I'm trying to figure out how to do these equip controls. My big problem too is that like I really made an effort to get my syntax down, to just use the right words to describe specific things. And I think I already kind of fucked up. Because there's like equip and unequip is like without using the word equip, I will say out loud, this is for just as much for me as it is for anybody who it could be interested in this. It's entirely for me. Okay, so this is what I do, by the way, when I'm not on stream. When I get to the parts with the logic, I literally pace around my room and talk to myself. Hot tip. Write it down in English or say it out loud, because then you'll be confronted. Like we said earlier, it's like, what do we learn in class? And then like as a group, we all say, objective circumstance. Yeah, because then it makes you'll end up hearing the flaws in your logic since language is more concrete. Unless you suck at speaking, unless your language sucks, if you're shit at grammar, then you can end up maybe fucking yourself over. But if you're proficient in any language, then they would help. Okay, so what am I trying to do here? In equipping and unequipping and using items and all that stuff, the objective is to have items in the world, be able to put items in like inventory. Your inventory is based off of your clothes. And then you should be able to cycle through some custom set of slots that have the items that you've set to them. You know, like the number keys 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. You should be able to hit each of those or roll your scroll wheel, and it should cycle through each of the items that you've assigned to those slots. And while you're holding one of those things, let's say you scroll to your gun, you're holding your gun, you have full control over its primary and secondary. I guess I would call that equipped. I would consider that equipped. But then when you hit the F key, I want it to be able to hide it, to put it away. So you're not holding it anymore, but that it's still set to that slot. So if you hit that, whatever, if it was set at the 3 key, and if you hit 3, it should pull it out again. Or if you hit F again while it was away, it should pull it out again. F basically is what I was planning on calling it originally, was holster and unholster. And I'm kind of regretting not calling it that. My only beef with it was a stupid one, which was like, oh, holster like presumes gun. But it's like, you know, because you don't holster a radio or whatever. But also holsters are for anything, so fuck. Ugh, I should have called it holster. See this right here? This says is equipped, unequipped, and equipped. That should be called holster and unholster. Holstered is when it's not in your hands. Unholstered is when you've chosen it and it is in your hand. And it is no longer in that little pocket of wherever it came from. Zuby says, I have deadlines now, so I'm upset about this. Also, scriptable objects could be good and easy to set up for your inventory. Do you think so? Maybe I need to learn more about scriptable objects, but my understanding is that like I would have an easier time making an FSM that exposes all those values. Maybe I do need to learn more about scriptable objects. I was under the impression though that everything I have learned about them is something that I could just be doing through like templates and such. Okay. If I'm holding this radio and I want to equip it, I need to make exceptions for equip slot number 1 and number 2. Okay, I think I know how to do that now. Here we go. Time to actually do some programming. This nice, clean little FSM is about to get super dirtied up. Let's open this. Okay. So when you go to next item and it resets values, what is this? Array contains. Who sends it here? I kind of don't remember making this. Equip item to remove, and then it drops it. Equip add. Is not array contains equipped items, item to add. If it's not contained, why would I do that? Oh, no, I still don't understand. This end event can be used to update character animation and IK stuff related to holding whatever the item is. Right. Previous item. Reset values. So I think this equip controls, if I go to interact and I go over here, search recursively down from your topmost layer to your clothing. Okay. Search recursively down from your topmost layer of clothing to your underwear. Exclude all your body cavities. Putting something in your mouth, ass, etc. should be a very conscious choice made through the menu version, not quick stashing. Gets the first available item slot in your clothing. Am I still online? I just got a little notification that says that I disconnected for a second. Okay. Am I here, guys? Am I all good? Can I get hang looses in the chat? If I'm all good. You know, like one of these. Hang looses. Brilliant. Okay. Thank you. Back to it. Get the first available item slot in your clothing and puts the item there. So set FSM game object, item to add is the object hit, and then it sends to inventory quick add. So I go to inventory, and where is quick add? Aha, I never added that. Oh, there, yeah, I did right here. Quick inventory quick add. Okay, so it does send that. This just doesn't necessarily have. It doesn't have anything. It doesn't really do anything. So let me put a comment here that says, is this going to type all slow? It's okay. I should let inventory do this. Hang on. Let's go back to interact. Yeah. Okay, that looks good. Inventory. And in here, search recursively. Oops. Search recursively through all clothing articles to find free space. Then stash in the first free space you find. And so I like using bolding in my comments. If you do, or if you do have room, then add it to that container and send this update and send this item and event to my brain, come on. To quick equip. What is it called? That's not what it's called. Equip controls. Equip controls FSM. Add or whatever. Okay. Let me just make sure this works. So if it does that, oh, and then hold on, let me put in the alternative. If you don't have room, Then give little no room to equip. Or maybe just can't equip. Oh, yeah. Or inventory full. Inventory full. Notification. Okay, that's how it works. I think that's fine. So, goes from there to equip controls. You have added it to this equip add. I don't know why the fuck I do this array contains shit. Why did I do this? You go through the equipped items and you check if the item to add is in there. And if it's not in there, then it sends back here. Why would I ever do that? I'm just gonna, I don't know what I was thinking. Delete that transition. I don't know why. Yeah, I think that was supposed to be this, and I just copy pasted it over here. Okay, so you do that. You add it to that. Oh no, you don't add it. Oh, that's not even adding. It's saying, do you have it? Is that item already in there? And if it is contained, I don't know why I'm doing this array contains. Steven, what were you thinking? I think I'm just gonna delete it. And just do array add. Equipable items. Let me go to this variable too. What is it? It changes to 0. I'm not sure if I need to preset that size. Okay. So it gets item to add, and then it adds it to this array. Then what? Then what? What does that even mean? So what? So what if it's not in this array? It gets added to this array. And I think basically if you're doing quick equip, it should tell you, it should set I'm just trying to think of like where these objects even are. If you have a gun, a radio, and an eclair, they're all equipped. If you have a gun, a radio, and a eclair, you're holding the gun. That means it's in your... Let's write these rules down. Fuck yeah, I'm feeling a little bit better about this. Okay. Not the dialogue system. Inventory. Okay. Let's move this down. All right, so if you're holding a gun, when you have... Let's just do with a gun example. You're holding a gun. It's equipped. That means A, it's a child of some equipped and holding, or equipped holder. Let's call it like that. equipped holder. Game object. Okay, and then that equipped holder is dynamically moved around. So it's like the equipped holder should be parented to the hand. Should be a child of the hand. Okay, so far so good. And let's say that that's kind of that's part one, right? And then two is you unequip. Oh God, why am I using? I have the choice to change this now, and I will. Let's just fucking do it. Fuck. Do I really want to use this word? Because I have to go back and change all these words. No, actually I don't. I could just do... I could just do this. I could just... Instead of is equipped, it'll be called... This is fucking confusing me. This is stressing me out. Let's make another list. There's 3 states. Or there's multiple states. 1, object is in the world. In front of you. Not being touched by you. In any way. Spiritually. Oops, in any way. Spiritually, physically, emotionally. Okay. 2 is object is in your hand. You can examine it and use primary, and use its primary function, whatever. 3 is object is equipped, right? Object is, or rather, object is in your inventory, right? Just being held in a container, but no functionality available with player input. Okay. And then you also have object is in equip. Our object is equipped. Maybe I shouldn't use that word. Object is in array of objects that can be cycled through to put in player's hand so they can use the primary and secondary functions. Okay. Then you have object is in array of usable objects and is the one currently selected. Object is currently selected, but can now be hidden, right? And unusable, or unhidden and usable. I feel like I can condense this by making a little. No, actually, no. It is the one. Okay, let's do that. Object is an array of usable objects, but not selected. Okay, that's the one I had some questions about. What does that mean? Where the fuck does it go? Is it so it's, I could put it as little sub things. It's hidden, or its visibility, its mesh visibility is off. It's item specific FSM. No, that's fine. Okay, its mesh visibility is off. Oh. Its layer is ignore all. And is there anything else? Oh. Is kinematic. And parented to something? Maybe. Just dropping by to say, what up? What's up, Robo Hemoth? Oh, what is up, you piece of shit? Robo Hemoth, you absolute garbage human being that nobody likes, everybody wants to kill, but we also all wanna fuck. How's it going, man? How you doing? How you doing on this fine Friday, afternoon technically? Can we get a bunch of fires in the chat for Robohemoth? That's my man right there. That's my man with that big old dick. Okay, so parented to something, maybe a equipped items parent game object, maybe, so we can use solo, so that way you can use solo game object to cycle through them. No, because solo game object would turn them on and off. Whatever. So you said it's visibility to off, it's layer to ignore all, it is kinematic and parented to something. Object is currently selected, but can now be hidden and unusable, or unhidden and usable. So its mesh visibility is on, plus its layer is set to, is default, is not kinematic. Oh, actually, it is still kinematic. Is still kinematic. And then remains parented. If you, for whatever reason, want to keep it parented to some goddamn geo. Whew. Object is currently selected but can now be hidden and usable or unhidden and usable. So it is also now the value of a variable called currently equipped underscore object, oops, which is where, oh no, oh wait, yeah, that's fine, which is where you'll send interact event 1 and 2. Yeah, nice. Very cool. All right, and then the logic for hiding it and unhiding it. Hiding and unhiding just changes its values to resemble, changes its whatever parameters to match all the other not in use items, but also you clear the, oh wait, fuck. But also you, I don't know how to handle this yet. This might be a little bit more specific to when I design the FSM. But basically this last thing, you also you need to use a bool or something to make sure you can no longer send interact events 1 and 2 to it, right? Because that's the one exception. It's basically just turning it off like the rest, but if it's still as that currently equipped object, which receives all the interact events, then what fucking use is it? Now it's just an invisible item, which is cool, you know, if you want to sneak an invisible gun in somewhere and kill a bunch of people and not be noticed. Okay. Horrid says, hello, I am back. Hello, Horrid. Yo, I'm getting hungry. I'm getting kind of hungry. Ugh. Did you hear that back crack? Oh, yeah. Whew. I need to make some big moves today. I need to make some huge, gigantic, sweeping progress. It would be nice if I could finish this inventory thing, because right now I need to finish inventory. Here we go. Food is good. It is. I think I have a plan here. I think that's good. I think this is looking good right here, this inventory. Okay, so let's put a checkbox on all these bitches. Boom. Okay, object is in the world in front of you, not being touched in any way. Check, that already exists. Object is in your hand, you can examine it, use primary function. Checked, we can already do that. Object is in your inventory, just being held in container, but no functionality available without player input. Check. Object is in array of objects that can be cycled through to put in player's hands so they can use the primary and secondary functions. Does it do that right now? I don't think it does. I think the missing link here is that I need to program that little part that gets the volume. Let's do it. Let's fucking do it. Maybe ask someone to make you the food if you have anyone to ask. If not, takeout. You remember during the pandemic, or I don't think you were here, right, Horrid? But during the pandemic, a lot of my streams, it was just nonstop Postmates, just constantly ordering food. I am getting hungry. I might just have to make a sandwich in a little bit. Okay, so let's do it. Let's speed run this fucking thing. Let's go. Interact, right? Starts here. Quick inventory add. So it sends that to the inventory add. We'll let the inventory decide if this thing can be added or not. However, now is there. But yeah, food takeout is good from time to time, but I can't do that. Same. It's a bad habit to get in. It's a bad habit. Unless you're like crazy stinking rich. I wasn't crazy stinking rich at the time, but I had nothing else to spend my money on. Okay. So the question is, do I have interact decide whether or not the interact FSM, is it the one that should be deciding whether or not there is currently enough room to stash this? I think the answer is yes. In which case, if it goes to inventory and you do quick add, okay, that's fine. Well, fuck though. Inventory, what are the variables like? Do I have an array of all of my clothes? Object hit container contents, null array game objects. What I would really like to see, top article container contents, both item wheels, object hit container contents, game objects. So I think, the clothing FSM. Clothing, or the clothing manager. So in here, current clothes? No. Is that it? Current clothes, where's this being used? Array add, current clothes, article of clothing to add. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think that's right. And does ouchie on the tummy? It can, right? If it's gnarly enough. I kind of want some of that food that'll do ouchie on the tummy today. Like there's this place that does like these teriyaki burgers that are just so fucking out of control, and they serve them up with just these huge fries. Okay, but I think I need to have more bagels and lox today. Okay, so this is what I'm looking for, the current clothes. Let me screenshot this. Okay, I'm just gonna put this over here just so I can remember the name of it. And in our controls, in interact, quick inventory add is going to have a run FSM in here. Come on. Spicy food time. I had a craving for Taki, so I ordered some. We don't have them in my country. And boy, does my stomach and tongue ache when I eat them. I got a very spice. So I haven't had Takis in a while, but Trader Joe's has a very similar thing. Except instead of like this kind of like potato-y shape, they're more like rolled up tortilla chips. But those I was straight fucking addicted to for a while. In a not cool way, where it really kind of like put me in a bad mental place where I would just be eating them too much all day and it would fuck with my head. Okay, so we're gonna make an FSM that's going to again, let me just say it out loud. Maybe it's enough to hold in short-term memory. We're gonna make an FSM template that we're gonna use this run FSM action on, which will get our body mesh clothing manager. It's going to go through all of the items in that array, and then it's going to, like, all the clothes that we're wearing, it's going to check the remaining volume for all of them, and then the first one that it finds that has enough volume to stash the item that we're holding, it will put it there. But wait, that already sort of breaks the logic of what I said over here. You can quick equip things by either holding right click and then left clicking when you're holding in first person mode. Quick equip slot 1 and 2 are so here's the mind fuck that I don't quite know how to address yet, which is quick equip slot number 1 and 2 are special spots that are always available, even when naked. So they don't rely on... I do need to write some of this logic down then. So this is the quick equip option from Interact FSM. Okay, so first what it does is it checks which what do you call that? Like equip slot the player currently has selected, right? And then if it's 1 or 2, if it's, let's put number 1 or number 2, then it just adds without checking. Oh, no, then it skips the volume, the clothing volume check. Let me move this. Okay, but if it's number 3 through 9, then it first does a check to see, to find first article of clothing with enough volume to add to inventory. Okay. Takis are addicting for some reason. Like, I don't know, maybe it's the sour, spicy, salty combo. It is. I mean, they're amazingly good. My mouth is like watering thinking about them right now. I wish I could have a sandwich with Takis right now. That would be so dope. Buy a rubber ducky. Those little black on yellow devil eyes stare you in your soul and force you to solve problems. But Stream is also a good rubber ducky. Yeah. Stream is a good rubber ducky. It forces me to like stay in the zone to put on a good enough show. It's literally my favorite snack. Man, My mouth is like it literally. I begin to salivate imagining it. Okay, so now if it's number 3 through 9, then it does a check to first add the article of find the first article of clothing with enough volume to add to inventory. Okay, so if it is 1 or 2, so after it does that, what is it? It just sends it to. Okay. If it is number 1 or number 2, it does not add to inventory, right? Instead, it just adds directly to that equip slot. Yes, okay, this is making sense. Thank God. Fuck. I have confidence that I'll be able to do this today. I think I'll be able to see a semi-working version of this today. Oh, finally. That felt really good writing that sentence. Okay, so instead it just adds directly to that equip slot. That might be enough to just go off of. So first thing quick inventory needs to do is none of this shit. So I'm going to take all of this and put it in a separate state out here for now. What needs to happen first is it will do a get FSM int from our, actually it's still from this owner, but it's from the equip controls, and it's getting equip current item index. And then we will store that in, let's just do new variable equip current item index. Okay, and then what it does is an int compare that checks the current item index against 2. Or no. Yeah, 2 is fine. We want... What are our options? Let me open up the event browser really quick. So event, or equip. We have equip, add, remove, and update. So I'll make a new one called equip slash one and 2 and equip space 3 plus. Okay, and over here, if the current item index is equal to 2, then we add equip 1 and 2. If it's less than 2, then we do equip 1 and 2. If it's greater than 2, then we do equip 3 plus. There we go. Okay, so then it goes over here and over here. So this is equip number 1 and number 2. And this one is equip number 3 plus. There we go. So in here, what is it? What did my notes say? If it's 1 or 2, it does not add to inventory. Instead, it just adds directly to that equip slot. Brilliant. So we'll take one of these. This. Actually, no. We're just gonna do set FSM. Set FSM game object on equip controls. Equip item to add. Object hit. It's the item that we're currently holding. And then we do a send event. And we're sending this to equip controls. We're sending equip add. This might work. Okay, now let's go. Let's finish our business here. If it's equipped 3 and plus, then oops. If it's 3 through 9, then it first does a check to find first article of clothing with enough volume to add to inventory. Wait, if it's 3 through 9, then it first does a check to find the first article of clothing. Oh, right. So here's where we have this run FSM action. We'll put this in here, and we're gonna make a new template called get first article of clothing with sufficient volume, sufficient capacity. Capacity is more accurate, but also volume is the word I use for all this shit. Let's just do it. Volume. Fuck you, remaining. Let's just call it one really long one. Get first article of clothing with sufficient volume remaining. Do it. All right. Okay, let's hit edit on this bitch. And the first state we're going to have is... Oh, it's a goddamn template. So... it's gonna be an input variable that I'm gonna drag that. So what you're gonna want to do is have a get FSM array, right? And we're gonna get it from the new variable called, is it in this body mesh one? It is, right? Body mesh clothing materials. Okay, my bad. Edit. New variables, we'll call this body mesh underscore object. And then the FS name is clothing manager. And the variable name is clothing slash, what is it? Current clothes. Okay. And I'll store that here in this value. Oh, I need to make a new one. Oh, I hope this fucking works. Game object. It's a game object, right? Yes. Okay. Boom. Does not copy the values. So it gets that first, right? So first get current clothes array. Then it goes off to the next state where it will do a get next, array get next from that clothing, and it'll have a loop event. Okay, and it'll have a finished event. Okay, and the result that it's storing will be called next article of clothing. We'll see if I need that index later. Okay, so when it loops, it comes down here. When it's complete, it comes over here. We'll call this get next article of clothing. And then down here, we need to get FSM float, I believe it is. And it'll be getting the, next article of clothing from the FSM object, and the value it wants to be getting from there is called let's open up object, variables, get volume, volume remaining. Right, because when you add, you know what's funny is right now I think everything has, oh no, volume remain. Okay, yeah, volume remaining. Great. I'm just gonna take a picture of it. Oops. Where is this fucking thing? What the fuck? Dude, that's like the second time this has happened now. Where is it? Oh, weird. Okay. Come over to controls, back into this boy right here. So it's called volume remaining. Yes, and I'll just do this and this. Okay, get volume remaining. And then we're gonna have it check if it can fit. So oh, wait a minute. What I need to do is my volume remaining. This will be the article of clothing slash volume remaining. And then I'll make another one called object. What am I? To add volume remaining. Call this get volume remaining. And then we do the same thing here, except we're getting it from a new variable called, let's see, object to add. Okay, an object to add is an input variable, and so is the body mesh obj. Next article of clothing, object, yep, all that other shit is programmatic. Okay, and float compare, right? I think that's what I'm doing. Oh, this thing. Object to add volume remaining article of clothing. Yes. So we're gonna check the volume remaining of the article of clothing and comparing it to the object to add volume remaining. So if it's equal, then we'll add it. Where's inventory? Inventory, just add. If it's less than, if the volume remaining in the article of clothing is less than the object to add's volume remaining, then we do not add. So I don't know if there's a nice event name for that. We'll just call it next. If the volume remaining of the article of clothing is greater than the volume. Oh, I don't want to get the. Oh, I'm fucking up. But okay, we'll just do this. Inventory add. Okay. So we go here. And we go here. Can add. And here's where I goofed. We only get one volume remaining. That's from the article of clothing. This should be its own state where we're not getting the volume remaining, we are getting the size of it, which is the total volume. I should have screenshotted that before. So I think it's like get total volume. Right, and let's just make sure that that's what it's called. Object, variables, actually in here, volume total. Okay, this is what I want. This is being a little funky baby. There we go. Okay, going back to controls, into this. All right, get total volume. Volume total. Total. Okay, I'm gonna rename it here too. Brilliant. Edit variable, and then this. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Volume total, volume total. Okay, get volume ring, get volume total. Then this comes down here. We'll scooch this over like that. All right. So that's it. There we go. So no room. Oh, actually, if it can't add, instead of next, let's do custom events, try again. Get rid of next, delete transition, move this up here, and it'll get the next article of clothing. And we'll call this one, let's delete this, and this will be called no room. And this one is found space. Okay. Call this no space for consistency's sake. All right, so close. Let's just see this work. No space, found space. So if it does find space, then what you do is you do a finished FSM. That's it. Set color, green, and then no space, set color as red, and we're going to set game object. Oh, wait. Instead, we'll do a set bool value. We'll call it found space. And that'll be true. But over here, in no space, it'll be false. And then we also have a finish FSM. Actually, let's put just one finish FSM. They'll both go to it. Where is it pretty? Where can I make it pretty? Big start, lock to left. There we go. Call this one set color. Let's do a yellow. Finish FSM. All right, not bad. Maybe scooch these boys in. Gotta make it pretty. Ah, yes, there we go. So, Broken Bones, what's going on? How's it going, Broken Bones? I'm finally implementing the quick swap, quick equip, or equip period functionality to this fucking thing. So you could actually use secondary functions on items. And I think I just did the first sort of few major steps. So let's step out of this. Okay, the body mesh is this. The object to add is the object hit. And and that needs to be an output variable. This found space bool value is an output. And the next article of clothing is also an output. So now, when we step out of this, oops, in here, looks pretty good. I just saw the stream after exiting Elden Ring. Fuck, everybody's playing Elden Ring, and I want to play it. I have to admit, I'm not like super excited about Elden Ring itself. I'm just excited about playing a Souls game. More specifically, I really, really, really wish I could spend all day playing Dark Souls 3. I haven't finished it. I've only played like an hour of it, maybe. I beat like one boss, and I'm just kind of like roaming around killing random baddies right now. I don't really know what I'm doing, but I like it, and I haven't played it in something close to like a year. And I told myself that I would finish Dark Souls 3 at the very least. And that next on my list, honestly, is Bloodborne. And Elden Ring, I'm not quite sure I want to play yet. And it's only because, like, there's just not enough time in the world to play all the games. It's not that I don't want to play Elden Ring. I do. But it's just like, if I play Dark Souls 3 and I play Bloodborne, I really, really want to play Bloodborne because it has that Lovecraftian shit. I'm playing Dark Souls 3 because I heard that's like, a lot of people call it like the best Dark Souls. And yeah, just like a third one, it's like, you know, I gotta be playing other games. I gotta finish some other games. Same. Same what? Sorry for being a bit lurky. I did a tarot reading on myself. Nice. You should try making a Souls-like. Dude, I've been wanting to like do combat programming. It looks so fun, like animation timings. I don't want to do something where you do animation canceling. I would want to, you know, commit to the animation Souls style. Just like, ooh, like parrying, frame specific parries. That seems like so much fun to program. Yeah, but let's. Oh, fuck, man. There's already so many games I want to make, I need to finish this one. Shut up! Stop fucking teasing me. I want to do all the things. All right, so found space is a new variable. Found space. Next article of clothing. We'll do this. Article of Article of clothing _ has space. Okay. Do it. I want to. I really, really do. And then show us how to do it. You just want me to teach you. You don't care about what kind of game I would make. You just want to learn. All right. So this finish event will go next. Okay. And then it'll go like here, I guess. This interact FSM it's not unwieldy. It's actually not that bad. It's honestly not that bad. It used to be way messier. I'm actually really surprised on how manageable this is looking to me right now. I did something recently where I really cleaned it up. I hate when wires cross through each other, when transition lines cross through states and stuff. I'm like, I try to avoid that at all costs, but something about this is actually feeling still pretty comprehensible. I actually want to play Memories of a Spy already. You're telling me, man. You're telling me. And thank you. I'm glad to hear that. I can't wait. Can't wait for you to play. Okay, so in this one, we're going to send... I think it's this. I think this is what we're doing. We're going to send these things. We'll do that. And we'll paste them in here. So... How the fuck does inventory work again? Oh, right, because usually you're only looking at this when you're navigating the inventory thing. So what's special about this one is you do add object to clothes container. It's pretty much this thing. I can copy these ones. I think that's all I really want. If I copy those actions, and then you have to remove from previous. Oh, actually, no, because it's not in a container if you're currently holding it in front of you like that. Right, it can't be. So it doesn't need to do that. So that's okay. So I could put this in quick add, these, right? Except what you're doing now is you're sending it to a new variable that we'll call clothing slash article of clothing underscore with space. Okay, I'm going to copy that. And we're going to set the value of that. Wait. We're going to make a new variable called... Actually, is there just item to add here? Inventory, item to add. Yeah, that's great. And then you send the event to clothing, article of clothing with space. This is what I want. Perfect. Okay. Okay. So I think that all checks out. I think even just that is good enough. And then I can go to interact. Fun fact, I didn't find you through the tutorials. I found you through Memories of Spy Twitter post and Playmaker retweeting you. Oh, no shit. Then found out you do tutorials and was like, ooh. And then I immediately bought your Gumroad course. Much thanks. Thank you for your support. I really, really hope that you get all the value that I tried my damnedest to cram into that course. So far, everybody that I've talked to who has taken the course has said nothing but great things. So I'm constantly on edge for that one person to be like, fucking I didn't learn a thing. So I need the access. Oh shit, today's already Friday. Fuck. Hey Siri, remind me to put up the links to the 2D assets on the Gumroad page tonight at 6 p.m.
Okay. Add it to...
That way, when I'm getting ready to make dinner and stuff like that, I could just kind of crank that out. I'm on it. Siri will remind me. So, this is interact. Okay, so set FSM game object, right? So this is inventory FSM quick add. And it's sending to inventory, item to add, and it's okay, right? That's what it's called, item to add, right? And then we're sending the event called quick add. That's right. But we're also going to do another set FSM game object, and it's clothing slash article of clothing underscore with space. And it's going to be, we're getting it from this article of clothing. Oh, fuck. Let's rename it. Fuck all that. Fuck just with space. And we're setting it with item to add is object hit, with space one is with space. Now I think that will function correctly. This needs a back to start right here. I think I can get rid of this altogether. Okay. Oh man, I'm getting really hungry. So that is taking care of it. It'll add it to the inventory first. Oh, it's magic, you know, because when you get to inventory, then you do quick add to inventory. It adds to the inventory, but then you also need to wait a minute. Actually, yeah, that's fine. Then you do add to equip. So you do a set FSM game object and a send event. Okay, and we're sending to equip controls, equip item to add, and what is it? Just an inventory item to add. And we're sending the event to equip controls, equip, add. Okay, that feels pretty complete. I think I'm ready to run some tests. You should get food though. Brain works better on food. I agree. I always work myself to exhaustion before lunch. So thankfully I just finished doing this. And now we can see if this will work as expected. And if it doesn't, then I go eat. And if it does, then I go eat. All right. Let's play it. Oh, please fucking work. Okay, come on, let's go. So first I want to look at controls, equip controls. I'm gonna go to variables, and I'm gonna mute this. And we're gonna go to current item index. And now I should scroll. Yep. So I don't know if you could see that, but down there, my little item index goes up when I scroll up, goes down when I scroll down. So right now, I'll put it on oh wait. Did I account for that? Yeah, I get current item index. Okay. I didn't. Wow, I honestly don't even remember doing that right now. I kind of don't remember doing that, but okay. Current item index. Great. Let me just make sure that that's working one more time. Yep. Okay. So I'm on 1, even though I know that there's an index offset, and now I actually need to change that thing to 1 because the index, it's a 0-based indexing, so I'm going to need to change that. So let's just run this test with me on 1. So I'm going to deselect this just so I can run a little smoother. And I will grab this radio. And I will quick add. Okay. I just did it. Now let's see what actually happened. So let's first start and interact. Okay, good. My interact is back here at the start, which is expected because it should have ran through and then back. Good. It checked the thing and it said equip 1 or 2. I was in equip number 1, so it sent here. And then so it should have went to equip controls, or did equip add, and it equipped my hand radio. So now if I go to variables and I go to this array of equipped items, my hand radio is there. Okay, cool. But now fuck. Now I need to try that with something I just realized I didn't account for some logic, I don't think, because I never even used that bool. So check it out. I'll do this one last thing before I leave because it's so close and I already, and my head's there. In interact, this finish, when it tries to stash something in clothes, it shouldn't just go here. Instead, what it needs to do, in fact, I'll just delete this transition, and I'm not even going to put a finished thing here. Instead, what I'm going to do is put a bool test, and it's going to, oh, no. That would have been a big no. We will do a next. Okay, so when this is done running, we'll come here, and then we'll do a bool test. And it's going to be checking found space, right? Is that what I called it? Yep, found space. And if it's true, we'll send to true. And if it's false, send to false. There should be a compilation of me saying that. Okay. So if it found space, then it can go here. But if it didn't, then it needs to go here where it no space warning, right? So this is set color, we'll make it red, and we'll set color, make it green, and we'll set color, make it green. Okay. Now this no space warning, I'll put a comment, be like, make UI notification that says there was no space in your inventory to add it. Okay. And then it'll have an then I'm going to do something kind of sloppy and just send back here for now. Okay, it sends back to holding that object. All right. Found space, question mark. Okay. So now if I do, so if I'm naked, what I should expect out of this is that it'll be like, there's no space. So let's run it. Okay. so I'll go to controls, look at my variables, my current item index. Okay. And I want to go to index number 4. Okay, so that's going to expect me to be stashing something in clothes. Deselect this so the game runs a little smoother. And I will select this croissant. Okay. Now I'm rotating it and I'll left click. Okay. And now let's check controls in interact. Okay, perfect. It went here. It tried to equip it. But the thing is, there was no articles of clothing. So there was no, the found space was false, which means it sent to the no space section and sent back to me just holding the item. Okay, so I'm gonna keep playing it. Okay, I'm gonna drop this croissant, and I'm gonna put on this shirt. Then I'm gonna pick up this croissant, and then I'm going to right click and left click. And I think it motherfucking worked. Okay, so now if we go to controls, I'm back to start. Nice. Look, it sent here. Found space was true. And so it went here to add the inventory. This object hit is null because those values get reset when it goes back to the top. But it found my white button-up shirt had enough space. Sent that event to inventory. Right? Where it sent that to my white button-up shirt to send that croissant, and then adds to equip. So if I go to my white button-up shirt, if I select this, and I go to variables, container, I have my little croissant in there. It's part of the inventory. And I should be able to go to my equip controls and go to what is it? Equipped items, and there it is, croissant. Equipping works for the most part. So far so good. So far so good. My slightly fucking esoteric quick equip hotkey shit is actually doing okay. Wow. So now all I got to do, I'm gonna go have lunch, but when I come back, all I have to do, like I get back and it's like this huge task, right? But it's seemingly a simple task of now that I have which item is equipped and which ones aren't, I can say that, you know, I could do the thing I mentioned earlier, which is you just set their visibility to off, you change their layer to ignore all, you set them to is kinematic, and yeah, so then I should have it so basically I can like scroll through all my items, and only really be able to scroll through 2 if I'm naked, because I have my left hand and my right hand, and scroll through way more things if I have clothes to stash those things in. Stop, I could have dropped my corsiants. Oh my god. Wow. So the problem that I'm seeing right now is that when I quick equip that croissant, I'm still in that holding position. And when you quick equip something, if it does stash to your inventory, I think that basically it should find the next available inventory slot. And I don't know, maybe overwrite it or something, but that croissant shouldn't have disappeared. It should have stayed visible. But thankfully, I think, let me just check this really quick. I swear to God, it's the last thing I'm checking, and then I'm signing off. Yeah, this inventory removed. If I set this little bool value to, what is it? Do unhide. I guess I would have to set it for this inventory add thing too, where basically I can have it so when you add to inventory, it doesn't necessarily go through that like hiding and unhiding process. You can like by default it will, but if there are special situations kind of like this, I could tell it don't do that, so the croissant would stay visible. Oh my god, it's taken me a long time. Like, I don't think you guys realize, like, I've spent a lot of time pacing around in my living room over the last week, trying to sort out the logistics behind how equipping things will work in my inventory. It really bugs me out, and even right now it's sort of a compromise because it's kind of I fucking hate people with loud cars. Oh my god. It's kind of a hack that people might be able to exploit, where if you have you have no limitations on what you can sort of stash with you in slots 1 and 2. It skips that volume checking process. So I'm kind of giving the player a freebie and just crossing my fingers that doesn't bite me in the ass. That doesn't break the game too much. So, yeah. I can't spell, okay? I'm not a native English speaker is my excuse. It's a funny meme. Oh, is it a meme? Maybe, yeah, I don't know that one. It made me laugh either way. Okay, so I'm gonna go eat. I'm gonna go fucking eat because I'm starving right now, and I'm gonna call some people back who've been blowing on my phone. So thanks everybody who stopped by. Horrid, I don't know who else might be here in the chat with us. Broken Bone stopped by. Rizubi was here. Robohemoth swung by for a minute. Mr. Chambers. Rusty was here. And Andres was here. And I think that's it, huh? Yeah. I can't find, where did Robohemoth's name go? He was here, wasn't he? He dipped in and dipped, oh, there he is. He dipped in and dipped out. Oh, the YouTube is a meme. Thank you for streaming. You got it, man. I mean, it's a pleasure. And thanks for swinging by. I'm going to go get some grub and some tea. So everybody take care of yourselves. Thanks for swinging by. All the usual. Get some good sleep. So I know, Horrid, I know you've been having trouble with the sleep stuff. I wish you the best on finding some sweet, regenerative sleep. And don't sleep too much. Don't sleep too little. 8 hours is nice. 7 is okay as well. You're pushing it if it's only 6. And chill on the booze and the dope and the sugar and the caffeine and all that stuff. A little too much of that will really drain you in the long run. And spend time with people you love. So hang out with your friends and family. Try to be in the same room with them in their actual physical face-to-face presence. Millions of years of evolution have kind of unfortunately painted you into a corner where you basically depend on that sort of thing. And all simulations of that, whether it be FaceTime or text messaging or phone calls and stuff, are sufficient but not as effective. So get the real person-to-person stuff if you can. But if because of your job or your living situation or whatever else may be going on in the world and your life and stuff, make a phone call at the very least, or send a text message or do something. I don't drink or do drugs. Hell nah. That's tight. Drugs could, I mean, I don't want YouTube to fuck me. I have opinions on drugs. We won't get into them here. Maybe on the Discord though. Okay, everybody, take good care of yourself. Don't beat yourself up. And yeah, I'll talk to you very, very soon. Swing by the Discord. Say what's up on the Discord. All right. Where the fuck is OBS? Okay, everybody. Peace, peace, peace. Weed is okay. Yeah, I do this. All right. Have a good one.